Hi, and welcome back to Wicked Wands Tarot. My name is Carmen, and today we've got a reading for you about jealousy getting in the way of what feels like a friendship to me. It kind of looks like a little bit of a love triangle. Maybe there's someone who's been hoping to have a moment to confess that they have a crush, and then maybe a friend or a family member or a coworker. Someone else seems to maybe like beat them to it. Maybe they hear that the object of their affection is attracted to a friend of theirs, but not to them. But this justice in the card or justice in the reverse card makes me feel we've got somebody that feels wronged, and it has something to do with attractiveness or who is interested in whom. So that's why I feel like we might have a little bit of a love triangle. So let's call in spirit with a little bit of Winchenton. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I hope you have better weather than I do. It's raining out there, so no outdoor readings today, sadly. If you would like a personal reading, I would love to do one for you. My email address is wickedwandstarot@gmail.com. And I've also recently started memberships, thanks to those of you that have already upgraded to a higher tier. The highest one is actually one that includes a monthly 3-card pull reading for you. So yeah, check it out. We're going to start off with the Wild Reflections Tarot. Hello, Bitchy Tata. How are we doing? What else do we have? 3 of Swords in the reverse. 2 of Cups and the 10 of Wands. So honestly, this looks to me like we've got somebody who has recently connected with a friend, and it's been really meaningful. The conversations that they have, there's things that make them feel seen. So I think this is a really genuine connection. But with the 10 of Wands being here, there's something that it feels like there's something coming to an end or something changing. Maybe somebody's lease is ending. Maybe somebody's leaving a job and you won't hang out with this person anymore. Because of this 10 of Wands, I feel like there's someone who feels I've got to say something, or I want to like see whether or not this could be more than friendship. So this could be a coworker or a neighbor. Queen of Cups in the reverse. 3 of Cups in the reverse and the World. But there's something that gets this interested party into a little bit of frustration. They seem to have a suspicion that their crush has somebody else in their world, somebody else that they're dating. With the 3 of Cups in the reverse and the Queen of Cups in the reverse, it's kind of looking like hopes that they had with this person have been dashed. And they're thinking, okay, maybe this isn't the right time, or maybe I don't actually have a chance here. Hello, Miss Princess. Hello, Jasmina. How are you doing? Wheel of Fortune, 5 of Swords. Yeah, there's some sort of change happening. And I think we've got someone who has been kind of biding their time or trying to find the right moment, at least, to communicate that they have this crush. Because there's a little bit of a concern that when they do communicate this, it would change the nature of the friendship. Of course it would, right? At least in some way. So this looks to me like we're friends or we're coworkers. I have a crush on you. I'm trying to find this moment because I feel like I don't have a lot of opportunities remaining. And then I feel like, I don't know if they overhear a conversation, but there's something about all of a sudden questioning whether or not they should communicate, or feeling like communicating that crush is not a good idea. It looks like there's someone else who's made an offer. So Knight of Cups, Seven of Cups, Emperor. There's somebody else who has expressed interest in the same person. Hey, Stephen. Hey, Aqua Beauty. How we doing? And it's this emperor. This emperor has stood up and, expressed their interest. Does not have to be a man, but that's the like pursuing energy, right? As far as it being represented by the emperor. Let's get a few from the Tarot of the Nile. What else do we have? Five of Pentacles in the reverse, Three of Pentacles, and Seven of Wands. I mean, this looks to me like somebody may be trying to find the right moment to express that they have a crush, but they're nervous that if they do, there might be some people that would be mad. What is this? It's like, I know there are other people who want this same person. With that Seven of Wands, it's like, I gotta be like first in line. It's like I'm, lining up overnight before like tickets go on sale or something. Yeah, there's multiple people interested. This person knows it, but the Sun, the Page of Pentacles, and the Star. This is kind of coming through as like, you knew I had a crush on that person. You knew I was waiting for the right moment. And then you decided to swoop in and confess your emotions first. It's like, the way I'm looking at this is I tell my friend, okay, so I have a huge crush on this person. I'm going to, as soon as like the sun comes up tomorrow or, on Monday or whatever, I'm going to come in and I'm going to tell that person finally that I have a crush, and I'm going to see if there's any chance I can get like their number or go on a date. And then this emperor or somebody else is like, okay, well, if you're going to go do that first thing in the morning, then I'll beat you to it and I'll go at night. It's like they found out somebody's secret plans and then decided to like make them their own or run their own little operation. Hello, Jamie. Hello, youngin. Interesting. Hello, how's it going, Michael? Hello, how's it going, Illuminati? Yeah, just be a little cautious with that, youngin. So we got Six of Cups in the reverse and the Six of Pentacles in the reverse. Yeah, this feels to me like an offer that's made or some sort of sweet, cutesy thing that happens is seen as a loss to somebody else. Yeah, Knight of Cups. There's an offer made, and it's based on the fact that somebody already had insight that that other person was going to make a move. So if I get there first, or if I, don't let you have that opportunity, then maybe it'll work out for me. So this is like a shot across the bow. And I do feel like it's somebody, like they know each other, but it's like, okay, what is it? I don't know if it's technically a song, but from Tenacious D, when they're talking about the kielbasa sausage, like, you leave it in there, it's fair game. It's like somebody saying, well, you left this person unattended, and I might know that you have a crush on them, but that doesn't mean like you own them. I don't know. It's like feeling a little petty, like, yeah, I know what I did was kind of like a rude thing, but all's fair in love and war. Hey, Archetype, how's it going? Hello, Tim. How's your day? Hello, Johnny. How are you in the diamonds? That's true. I don't get driven crazy by anything. So we've got alien and threatened with drastic. This feels to me like whoever I'm reading for, the person who I would say is the Knight of Cups, they were going to confess their emotions. They're feeling like someone should feel embarrassed. So it's like Charlotte Dobre, like, how are you not embarrassed? Someone's quite bold. They don't feel bad. This is very different from like, bros before hoes kind of thing. Not to, hopefully I don't offend anyone with that, but this feels to me like somebody just like got undercut by a friend or a coworker and they don't feel bad at all. They're just kind of like, snooze you lose. Should have been quick about it. Hello, Matt. Is it the schnitzel? I thought it was the kielbasa. Interview, roller coaster, and escapade. So there's a conversation that happened, and I feel like it went on for longer than expected and covered a lot more subjects than intended originally, because there was some sort of, I don't know, like it's like they're in a bubble, whoever this twosome is, probably the crush, the person that the Knight of Cups has a crush on, and the person who beat the Knight of Cups to the punch. It's like they had this opportunity to like sneak away from the house party and get to know each other and talk about their favorite music and all this other stuff. And all of a sudden now there's this like deep bond between the two of them. And this other person is like, but you knew that I had a crush on that person. Like, why would you do that? This is the Poe Tarot. Hello, Third Eye. How are you doing? Hello, dude. What's up, James? What's going on? Two of Wells, or the Two of Cups. We gave the future to the winds and slumbered tranquilly in the present, weaving the dull world around us into dreams. The person, what will I call you? So the Knight of Cups is the person who has the crush and is upset. The Emperor is the person who already confessed or has, for some reason, got some apparent like leg up, or like maybe even is starting to date or going to take out this person that the Knight of Cups had a crush on. Their response to this Knight of Cups is, look, you over here dreaming. You're not like actually like doing anything. So if you're just going to sit there and not pursue this person, then I will. I don't think they feel bad at all. It's just kind of like, you had plenty of time. I didn't know I was going to get all like interested in this person. I think we have somebody who it's not feeling like they planned for a long time to just like sneak in right before this person wanted to like admit their crush. It's like, no, we just like end up having like a really interesting conversation. And so all the night tide, I lie down by the side of my darling, my life, and my bride. But this Knight of Cups has been spending a lot of time daydreaming about a life with this person. So I think this is two friends or two coworkers that are not really seeing eye to eye. And the Knight of Cups is pretty frustrated. Not one of all the crowd to pry into thine hour of secrecy. Be silent in that solitude. They're wishing they hadn't said anything at all about this person. But it's kind of interesting because I don't know why the Knight of Cups feels like just because they were talking about who they had a crush on, that's how the Emperor like met this person or found out about them or had an opportunity. It's like the Knight of Cups has a sense of possessiveness over this crush, even though I don't really see any justification for that. All right, this is the Jack-o'-lantern tarot. That's nice. We've got the Devil. Oh no. Wow. And Temperance, which is an angel card. Interestingly enough, the Temperance in the Jack-o'-lantern tarot does not have any angel reference in it. I think we have somebody who's a little obsessed. I think this is the Knight of Cups energy, feeling like, I don't know, maybe over a long period of time, they had a lot of these desires to have a conversation with this person, but for whatever reason felt like they couldn't. And then just when they finally feel like the time is right and they're going to pursue this crush of theirs, then this Emperor swoops in and says, me first. Two of Swords in the reverse, Ace of Wands in the reverse. So this is looking like an argument between friends, or perhaps it's siblings or coworkers, but it's all about like, you just totally took the wind out of my sails. You did what I was going to do. So there's a sense of betrayal. Like you don't even know this person like that. I've been like working on what I was going to say for a long time. I've got a date all planned. This is like, I don't know. They had spent a long time thinking about this moment that apparently is never going to happen because of whatever's happened between the Emperor and the crush. I don't know who this crush is. It could be you. But we've definitely got more than one person interested, and it's causing drama. Hierophants in the reverse, Three of Wands, and the Nine of Wands. There's this suspicion on the part of the Knight of Cups that the Emperor isn't even really interested in a relationship, that they're just attracted physically to the crush. And with the Hierophant in the reverse, it's like, you're not even trying to treat that person right. You're not even interested in the long term. I've been waiting for the right moment out of like respect. And then like you took my moment and made an offer that isn't even really like real. Because it's on, we'll just go with it's on borrowed time. So I feel like there's somebody who wants to have a serious relationship with this crush and they're irritable or they're angry at this Emperor because they don't think the Emperor takes this person seriously. It's like, you're just interested in like making out, but like I actually have feelings for this person. Three of Cups in the reverse, Ace of Cups in the reverse. So you ruined whatever I wanted to have with this person just because you wanted to have like a little makeout sesh, or just because you wanted to like feel hot. Like that's lame. And I don't know that there really is emotions here. It feels like the Emperor had a good chat or, was enjoying themselves talking to this crush, but it doesn't seem to be like long term. It's almost like they kind of enjoy causing this problem for the Knight of Cups. Like, you thought that person was yours, but then I swooped in. They're like proud of themselves. Yeah, I said it like that. All right. This is the Golden Lenormand. What else do we have? That's true. That's funny. Number 34, the fish, and number 4, the house. This could have been like a house party or a birthday party. This could also indicate that we have people who live near each other or are related to each other. But it's like I brought you along to a party or I introduced you to this crush, and then you decided you would just like step right in and try to dazzle them. It's very like Downton Abbey. Were you, James? That's funny. What else? There it is. We got love with the hearts, number 24. So we have number 4, number 24, and number 34. Can we get number 14? I think that's the fox. No, 18. That's close. It's 4 off from 14. And actually, it's better because it's the dog. So this is a really powerful combination because this is like true love or somebody who's very loyal. So I would argue this Knight of Cups is frustrated because they wanted to offer something serious. They have a deep love, or they feel like they're falling in love for their crush. And then we've got like Don Juan over here, like the Emperor, who's like more like, oh, I don't know, they're really attractive. I thought it was cool to talk to them about like tacos and stuff. Like what? So definitely different intentions from the Knight of Cups and the Emperor. Remember, don't get too caught up on the genders here because the Knight of Cups also came out as the Queen of Cups in the reverse. So this is just energy that I'm reading. But definitely romantic competition. Yeah, pretty much. Ace of Swords in the reverse. The Lovers. King of Swords in the reverse and the Hermit in the reverse. So we had somebody who's normally quite shy, probably is not attracted to a lot of people, who really did have some genuine interest and probably still does in the crush. But the Emperor was not willing to really think about that when they were having a conversation or getting along so well with the crush. They just kind of put this friend or this person out of their mind and enjoyed, getting to know the crush. But the truth is, they do kind of feel a little bit bad. They're just trying to pretend that they don't feel bad because they don't want it to like actually turn into a thing. This might be somebody who's got just a little bit of an ego. There's the Emperor again. And the Knight of Cups in the reverse. Interesting. Yeah, so anger and competition. Empress in the reverse. I feel like you tricked me, or I feel like you emotionally manipulated me, or I feel like you're trying to tell me that this shouldn't like anger me when if you were in my situation, I'm pretty sure you would be frustrated with me. 10 of Cups in the reverse, 4 of Cups in the reverse, 9 of Pentacles. And I feel like this Emperor is like, yeah, well, that person's single. It's not like there's a sign that says you can't hit on me because this person has a crush on me. The Knight of Cups wanted the ability to make their offer or approach this crush. They feel like they didn't even get the chance to be rejected because they couldn't even say what they wanted to say. But now that things have happened with this Emperor, the Knight of Cups is kind of like, I don't know. Hello, Jess. How's it going? the Sun, and Death in the reverse. Queen of Swords. I feel like the Knight of Cups is getting a little uppity. I understand why. I get it. But I feel like they're getting upset with this Emperor before the crush has actually said or decided anything. So the Knight of Cups may be assuming that the crush is actually interested in the Emperor or would accept an offer, but maybe would be surprised to hear what the Queen of Swords actually thinks. Because, if you're dealing with an emperor who has a bit of an ego and that's where you get your information from, I'm just going to go ahead and say that I have met some people with a little bit of an ego issue who think that people like them more than they actually do. That's a thing. I've seen it in action. So there's a chance that the Knight of Cups feels like this is over when it isn't, because the Queen of Swords might have just been, being polite. What else do we have? SOS, distress, act with urgency, assistance needed, penny pinching, financial struggle, saving up, and budgeting. So it looks to me like our Knight of Cups had a light bulb moment. They realized what was going on with the Emperor, that they are pursuing the same individual. And I feel like this Knight of Cups has been working to save up money. They wanted to take this person out, or they wanted to, feel better about their financial situation. And now they feel all that work that they've put into getting to that point where they could confess their feelings is messed up or ruined by the Emperor. So we have the paranoid card, cautious, insecure, guarded, and cuffing season. Single and ready to mingle, ready for a relationship, on the hunt. So it looks to me like our Knight of Cups is making assumptions here with the paranoid card, assuming that this Queen of Swords potentially, who could be the crush, assuming that they've already made their choice or that they do really want to pursue or be pursued by this Emperor. But I don't think that that's true. I think this Knight of Cups still has a chance. Fuego, chemistry, intense passion. Things are heating up. Yeah. They, I think, have an opportunity that remains. They just have to see what happens with this Emperor. It's kind of looking to me like maybe the Emperor has been dishonest in how things went with the Queen of Swords or with the crush. All right, this is the Cats Rule the Earth. What else do we have? Three of Swords in the reverse. Four of Cups in the reverse. And the Seven of Cups. Yeah, I think we keep seeing the Three of Swords in the reverse because somebody is seeing this as like a heartbreaking moment, but it's not heartbreaking. Like they need to talk to the Queen of Swords. With the Four of Cups in the reverse, it's like, no, I don't think they have lost this opportunity. The Queen of Swords or the crush may be more aware that they have options, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the Emperor is their choice. Six of Swords in the reverse. And the Two of Swords. Yeah, they've not made a choice yet. And I'm going to go ahead and say there's a pretty good chance this Emperor is going to do something to like trip, fumble, make an arse of themselves. The Six of Swords in the reverse makes it seem kind of inevitable that the Emperor is going to do something to irritate or mess up their chances with this crush, but that ego is preventing them from seeing that as a likelihood. So the Knight of Cups is being advised to be patient or not give up. Wow, Three of Cups and Three of Pentacles. Ace of Swords in the reverse. There's something that this Emperor has lied about to the Queen of Swords, and the Queen of Swords is nobody's fool. So it looks to me like it could be about who this Emperor knows, how close they are to somebody, whether or not they're dating someone. I think they feel much more confident than they should about how they came across to this Queen of Swords, because the Queen of Swords seems to be a bit suspicious of this Emperor. The Devil, Seven of Wands in the reverse, and the Six of Cups in the reverse. Yeah. It looks to me like this Queen of Swords feels that it was an interesting conversation with the Emperor, but there were a few things that they observed that they did not comment on. So the Emperor doesn't really know that that was an observation of theirs. But the observation is you're kind of stuck in old ways, or you seem to have like a little bit of an impulsive or immature approach. I don't know that it's necessarily, I can't believe you swooped in and tried to hit on your buddy's, like, crush, but it could be, you're a little bit too into yourself with this Devil card. It feels like our Queen of Swords is noticing that there is maybe some behavior that is not super healthy and maybe even a little bit toxic. Seven of Wands in the reverse, they would feel like maybe it would be inadvisable to get caught up with the Emperor. So the Emperor is high on their own supply, I guess. They think that they're just like amazing. And it's only a matter of time before this Queen of Swords, like, I don't know, falls in love or something. But that's not how the Queen of Swords feels. They were just kind of being polite. That's true. Seven of Swords in the reverse. Page of Cups. Two of Wands in the reverse. So the Knight of Cups is going to find out that even though they're upset that the Emperor has made this move and, made some sort of inroads with the Queen of Swords, that the Queen of Swords is not interested. The Queen of Swords sees through the Emperor and feels like it was a lot of like fancy words, or it was a lot of like, would you like to listen to how amazing I am? And the Queen of Swords is like, no. Well, maybe I'll listen, but like, it's not working on me. Two of Wands in the reverse is like they did not approach the conversation the way that maybe they should have. So something was a bit of a turnoff, or there may have been some red flags. I really do feel like it boils down to some ego issues here. Like, man, you just like really just talk about yourself the whole time and don't ask questions about other people, or you're focused on the wrong things, right? So we've got the Eight of Pentacles in the reverse, Five of Wands, and the Sun. So even though we've got some disgruntled, angry energy coming from the Knight of Cups, who feels like, somebody swooped in, they're going to find out that whatever the Emperor thought was working quite well with this Queen of Swords, the Queen of Swords is like, no, I didn't care for that at all. I was just not, trying to be a jerk about it. So all of a sudden we've got this Knight of Cups who's kind of frustrated or angry, coming back to life and being like, oh, okay, so me again. So like I have an opportunity or I have a chance. So you don't like the Emperor. Cool. All right. Let me go shower real quick and put my favorite clothes on, and I'll be right back. Then we got to chat. They get all excited because they find out that this Emperor did not have the success that they thought they did, or did not have, the little like love feelings or chemistry going on. They're just like in love with themselves, basically. What else do we have? Beloved, number 24, love, relationships, reciprocity, union, and intertwinement. And flow, number 21, recovery, moving on and finding peace. So recovery to me, I'm seeing somebody who like drops their cell phone, but catches it before it hits the ground. Yes, there's that moment of panic. You're like, ah, but you caught it. So this Knight of Cups is going to be able to recover. They're going to be able to kind of like breathe a sigh of relief, let go of some of the frustration they may have felt over the conversation that the Emperor had, because it did not go as well from the perspective of the Queen of Swords as the Emperor may have led on. This is the Rider-Waite. What else do we have? Judgment in the reverse. Ace of Cups. 8 of Swords and the 6 of Wands. So we've got somebody who calls it too early. They're like, oh man, that person's so in love with me. I'm just like the funniest. And I also did some dancing, which of course earned me additional points. And then I talked some more about myself and they just like kept falling in love. It was amazing. You should have been there. Wrong. This person's not at all in love with you. But I think you'll be fine because you're clearly in love with yourself. Just keep talking to yourself. It'll be great. So this Emperor kind of like talked themselves into a corner or made it pretty easy for this Queen of Swords to not be attracted to them because they were already so pleased with themselves. And this leaves the Knight of Cups feeling a sense of hope. Okay, so you didn't really like that person. So maybe you like me. Queen of Cups in the reverse. Ace of Pentacles. So you're telling me there's a chance. Telling me there's a chance. Okay. Knight of Cups is like, I guess I'll just like stop being all moody and stuff then. Sorry, guys. Sorry. I know I was being a little bit of a bitch, but I'm okay now because apparently somebody might still be single. So they're in a good mood. They recover. They're like, okay, back to planning. This is so cute. Okay, back to the drawing board. I had all of this done. I had planned that. I wrote up this cute little letter, or, you know, I bought flowers. Whatever this person's plan was regarding this crush that they have, they're like, oh, sweet. So it's not over. The tower thingy didn't happen. So they have a change in perspective, or they have a clear understanding of what really happened. And it's not all crazy, bad, awful. They're in love. No, this Queen of Swords, still single. They're still single because they're very observant. I do think that this Queen of Swords, probably you, is coming through as rather classy or somewhat reserved, right? Like, I might see you acting like a tool, but I'm not going to look you in your face and say, did you know that you're like a big old tool? Notice something? I'll tell you. No, this person would just kind of like, okay. So this King of Cups in the reverse is the emotional immaturity or the maybe ego that the Queen of Swords saw in the Emperor that made them feel like that was probably not something they would be interested in because that's perhaps too similar to some of the things they've already been through, or seems like a bad trip down memory lane. All right, let's see what we've got with the Pulp Tarot. It's the perfect quote in that moment. Just make sure you got your Samsonite. All right, what else do we have? Empress in the reverse. 6 of Pentacles in the reverse and the 3 of Wands. So now we have the Knight of Cups feeling like even though the Emperor was not cool for what they did, they still take offense at that. The loss that they felt was resulting from that conversation or that flirtation ended up not being what they expected. And so they are at the point where they're like, okay, okay. So I guess I need to reconsider what I want to do because maybe I should still tell this Queen of Swords that I think they're amazing. This is so cute. So the Knight of Cups is like beaming. They're excited. They're like, okay, I still got a chance. So let's put together a plan. What am I going to do? But they're hurried because they feel like it could happen again. They're like, none of you other people go talk to that person. That's my crush. And I'm not going to be all mad just because somebody else goes over there and talks to them first. So Sun in the reverse is like, okay, so now I got to make sure that I move towards actually having this conversation with the Queen of Swords and get over being, upset. Like, no harm, no foul, kind of. Devil in the reverse and the Death in the reverse. So, yeah, I'm not going to be afraid. I'm going to go and talk to this crush of mine. It's not over. So it's kind of like whoever may have been kind of dragging their feet a little bit, this Knight of Cups, talking about how they feel with a crush. The Emperor swooping in and kind of like hilariously failing to get any positive reaction out of the Queen of Swords acts as a catalyst or like a little poke for this for the Knight of Cups to be like, oh, you know what? Maybe I should like actually do something. Maybe I should like pursue this. So it ends up being for the best that the Emperor did that. Because now we have this Knight of Cups kind of bossing up a little bit. Yes, they had a little bit of a scare, but now they're working towards the Page of Wands, communicating their feelings. World in the reverse, Three of Swords. Hermit in the reverse, and the Three of Pentacles. So I got all upset, started singing along to my achy breaky heart, but the truth is it's not over. Whoever I thought was going to be, pursuing my crush has failed gloriously. And in addition to being able to laugh at that ego problem, I can also like rework my plan and go pursue that crush of mine. So this is charming. All right, let's see. This is the Energy Oracle. Hello, Savage. How you doing? Good, James. What else? Angel of Strength and Angel of Love. What a pair. That's awesome. Number 49 and number 50. So this is kind of looking to me like a bit of protective energy, maybe both for the Queen of Swords and for the Knight of Cups. But I also kind of think that the universe was trying to nudge this Knight of Cups to like hurry up and say something already. Like you can't just sit here and wait forever. You're going to have to communicate because the person that you are, feeling affection for isn't necessarily going to just hang around and wait for years, right? So now they have a sense of urgency. They're going to confess this love. And with Journey, I feel like this has been an important part for them to, I guess, gain a little bit more confidence, let go of the fear they might have. If I worry that I'm going to lose you to somebody else, it's a little bit more difficult for me to worry about whether or not I'm going to mess it up. I've got to at least like give it the college try, right? This is The Truth Is. Hello, Pharaoh. How are you doing? Truth seeking. You will discover the truth about the situation soon. So they overreact a little bit. They get a little angry at the Emperor. But then they realized that it was because the emperor was overestimating their success with this individual. And, that happens. I'm sure all of you have a friend somewhere who has overestimated how much somebody liked them before. Double life, partner engaged in secret behaviors or relationships and masquerading, pretending to be what you'd like in a partner. This Queen of Swords saw right through the Emperor. They were like, yeah, I can tell just how much you love yourself. It's probably enough where you don't really need somebody else to fall in love with you. Queen of Swords was not, I don't know if they were ever interested in the Emperor. And that seems to be like a difficult concept for the Emperor. Sorry, I'm throwing so much shade at this Emperor, but like, if that's what it is. This is the Kipper, and then I'm gonna have to go eat some food. What else do we have? Thief and unexpected income. So this Emperor is somebody who may feel like they can be a bit flashy, or there are things they can say or do that easily win people over, but it does not work with this Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is not like the others, probably because you're more observant. Here's that Queen of Swords energy. You're able to understand the subtext or the context or the body language. So this Emperor did not impress you. So even though they put in a lot of work, or they felt like they had a great conversation with this Queen of Swords, the Emperor, is not somebody that the Queen of Swords would take seriously. So let's see what we've got. Last couple cards from the Romance Angel Oracle. What kind of connection would there be between the Knight of Cups and the Queen of Swords? I'm going to tell you right now that Knight of Cups energy is moving upwards, because Knights and Pages, those are kind of immature energy, right? But they did have a little Emperor energy of their own. Deception, chemistry, and love yourself first. So this Knight of Cups has a little bit of healing work to do. It does feel like they have some self-worth to work on, but that there is really strong chemistry between them and this Queen of Swords. So making sure they feel confident and making sure they understand that they do deserve love seems to be a pretty important part, enabling this love connection. So there may be just a little bit more of a delay here, but still, you're telling me there's a chance. Hey, Ruben, how are you doing? Codependency. Addictions are affecting your romantic life, and give your relationship a chance. Work on your partnership. So this may be one of those things where after a little bit more time to work on their healing, and maybe let go of some toxic energy here that they may have picked up from their surroundings or the people they hang around, this Knight of Cups is going to elevate further or go through a little bit of an awakening and be more shit. They're gonna grow up a little bit and they'll be able to approach love better. I, on the other hand, will continue to throw things on the ground and drop them behind my bookshelf. Damn it. I'll pick that up later, you guys. I love you all. Thank you for the likes and the subscribes and for making fun of me when I throw things around. All right. I'll see you on the next reading. Toodles.